The desert is a land of extremes, a realm where the very earth is shaped by the relentless forces of sun and wind. Here, the ground is painted in a palette of ochres and golds, the surface etched by centuries of abrasive winds. The sun's rays, unfiltered by clouds, strike the land with unyielding intensity, transforming the terrain into a furnace by midday. Daytime temperatures can soar above 50 degrees Celsius, enough to fracture stone and evaporate moisture before it even touches the ground. The air itself shimmers with heat, distorting the landscape in a wavering haze. Water, the most precious element, is almost entirely absent. The soil is cracked and desiccated, and ancient riverbeds lie dormant, their courses marked only by the faint traces of salt and silt. Rainfall is a rare and unpredictable event, sometimes vanishing before it can reach the ground, leaving the flora in a perpetual state of drought-induced dormancy. The landscape appears devoid of life, a vast expanse of silence and searing heat, where the only movement is the shifting of sand and the slow erosion of stone. Yet beneath this apparent stillness, the desert conceals a world of remarkable adaptation. Life persists, often hidden from the sun's punishing glare, leaving only the faintest traces of its presence. Survival here is a feat of biological ingenuity. Every organism, from the smallest arthropod to the most elusive mammal, has evolved strategies to endure the extremes. The inhabitants of this ecosystem are masters of adaptation, each species a living testament to the power of evolution in the face of adversity. To survive, they have developed extraordinary physiological and behavioral solutions to the twin challenges of searing heat and chronic dehydration. Their bodies are finely tuned to the environment, reflective scales, insulating fur, and specialized circulatory systems minimize water loss and regulate temperature. Some have learned to extract moisture from the most unlikely sources, digging deep for hidden reserves or harvesting dew and plant sap in the cool hours of the morning. Others avoid the worst of the heat by seeking refuge in burrows, crevices, or the sparse shade cast by rocks, employing evaporative cooling or behavioral torpor to conserve energy. Food is equally scarce and every meal is hard-won. Many species subsist on drought-resistant plants, seeds, or the occasional insect, each bite a triumph over scarcity. These are not merely stories of survival, but of resilience and resourcefulness, where every adaptation is a response to the desert's relentless demands. From the microscopic to the majestic, each inhabitant has carved out a unique ecological niche, exploiting every opportunity the environment affords. Many are creatures of the night, emerging only when the air cools and the risk of desiccation lessens, while others burrow deep to escape the sun's reach. Specialized anatomical features, enlarged ears for heat dissipation, reflective skin, and water-conserving exoskeletons are hallmarks of desert evolution. Many species obtain all their hydration from their diet, never needing to drink, their metabolisms exquisitely adapted to extract and conserve every drop. Every movement is calculated, every action a balance between risk and reward, as the struggle for survival plays out in the open and in the shadows. The desert is a stage for constant drama, predators and prey locked in a perpetual contest, each encounter shaped by the unforgiving environment. As the sun dips below the horizon, the desert comes alive with activity, its inhabitants seizing the brief window of relative comfort to feed, mate, and move. Beneath the surface, intricate networks of burrows and tunnels provide refuge and support, a hidden community where life flourishes away from the sun's reach. Predators and prey engage in ancient rituals of pursuit and evasion, each encounter a test of speed, stealth, and adaptation. Competition is fierce, with every drop of water and every morsel of food fiercely contested, shaping the very fabric of desert life. In this environment, a single misstep can mean the difference between life and death, as the elements show no mercy to the unprepared. Yet even amid hardship, there is beauty, moments of play, flashes of color, and displays of resilience that reveal the desert's hidden vitality. The desert, far from barren, is a living mosaic of geological wonders and biological marvels, a testament to the tenacity of life, thriving against all odds in one of Earth's most unforgiving realms. Deep within the relentless expanse of the Sahara, where the sun's rays strike the earth with unyielding force, the landscape transforms into a shimmering furnace. At midday, the desert appears utterly devoid of life, the air itself vibrating with heat. Here, surface temperatures soar to a staggering 53 degrees Celsius, conditions so extreme that most animals would perish within minutes. Yet, at this very moment, the Saharan silver ant, Cataglyphus bombicina, makes its extraordinary appearance. These ants are among the most heat-tolerant terrestrial creatures on Earth, equipped with a suite of remarkable adaptations that allow them to survive where few others can. Their bodies are cloaked in a dense layer of uniquely structured triangular hairs. This silvery armor reflects up to 60% of incoming sunlight, acting as a thermal shield. The mirror-like coating not only deflects solar radiation, but also minimizes heat absorption, keeping the ant's internal temperature just below its lethal threshold. This adaptation enables the silver ant to exploit a unique ecological window, venturing out when the desert is at its most inhospitable and all predators have retreated underground. The silver ant's foray is a high-stakes dash against time and temperature. With less than 10 minutes before the heat overwhelms even their formidable defenses, every second is critical. The ants move with astonishing speed, up to 1 meter per second, minimizing contact with the scorching sand and maximizing their search for food. Their primary targets are the sun-stricken remains of insects and small reptiles, victims of the desert's lethal midday heat. As scavengers, silver ants turn the desert's deadliest hour into a fleeting opportunity, working together to harvest as much as possible before retreating. Each ant must secure its prize and return to the safety of the nest, a race against both the elements and the clock. The featureless, blinding landscape presents another formidable challenge: navigation. To orient itself, the silver ant relies on a sophisticated internal navigation system combining visual cues and step counting. Periodically, the ant stops and spins, using the sun's position and the polarization of light to calibrate its internal compass. Simultaneously, it counts each step with remarkable accuracy, building a mental map of its journey. Every change in direction is meticulously logged, allowing the ant to calculate the shortest route home. This internal odometer guides the ant back to its nest entrance, a minuscule, nearly invisible opening in the vast desert. A single miscalculation could mean death, as the margin for error in this unforgiving environment is razor-thin. With food in tow, the ant makes a final, urgent sprint for the nest, driven by the rising threat of overheating. Its long legs keep its body elevated, reducing contact with the burning surface and allowing for rapid, energy-efficient movement. The return journey is a desperate race, as the ant's core temperature approaches its upper limit with every passing second. At last, the ant plunges into the cool, humid safety of its subterranean nest, escaping the deadly heat just in time. The Saharan silver ant's midday foray is a breathtaking display of evolutionary ingenuity, a fleeting, perilous ballet of physiology, behavior, and environmental mastery, revealing the extraordinary ways life endures in the world's most extreme deserts. In the ever-shifting sand dunes of the Namib Desert, where temperatures soar by day and plummet at night, a remarkable predator thrives beneath the surface, almost entirely unseen. Here, the golden mole glides silently through the sand, its presence betrayed only by the faintest ripple on the surface. No larger than a ping-pong ball, the golden mole is completely blind, its eyes covered by skin and fur, a testament to its subterranean lifestyle. This tiny mammal spends nearly its entire existence swimming through loose sand, using its streamlined body to move with astonishing agility, much like a fish in water. The dunes are its ocean, a vast, undulating world of shifting grains, where vision is useless and survival depends on other senses. As the desert cools and darkness falls, the golden mole emerges from its deep burrow, ready to begin its nightly hunt. Its head is a marvel of adaptation. The skull is flattened and wedge-shaped, allowing it to push effortlessly through sand, while its leathery nose pad acts as both a shield and a sensory probe. Lacking sight, the golden mole relies on acute hearing. Specialized middle ear bones amplify the faintest vibrations, enabling it to detect the subtle footsteps of insects moving above. To locate prey such as termites or beetle larvae, the mole presses its face into the sand, reading the landscape through a complex map of sound and vibration. Its nose, covered in tough leathery skin, is packed with nerve endings, allowing it to sense the direction and distance of even the faintest movement. By triangulating these vibrations, the golden mole constructs a three-dimensional soundscape, pinpointing its next meal with astonishing precision. When it locks onto a target, the mole launches itself forward, propelling through the sand with a sudden burst of speed. Its powerful, spade-like forelimbs dig rapidly, while its streamlined body reduces resistance, allowing it to close in on prey from below. The attack is sudden, a burst of sand as the mole erupts from below, seizing its unsuspecting victim in a split second. The strike is swift and lethal, the mole's jaws snapping shut on its prey before it can react. This hunting method, relying on vibration and touch, is perfectly suited to the darkness and silence beneath the dunes. Each night, the golden mole may travel up to 1 kilometer, tirelessly searching for the telltale signals of life above. Its existence is solitary, spent in a world of perpetual darkness, where sound and vibration are the only guides. The golden mole's fur is dense, silky, and iridescent, reducing friction and helping it slip easily through the sand. The unique structure of each hair reflects sunlight, giving the animal a subtle metallic sheen. Its forelimbs are short but immensely strong, tipped with large claws that act as shovels, while its hind legs are adapted for pushing and steering. Deep underground, the mole carves out a network of tunnels and resting chambers, insulated from the desert's extreme temperatures. By living beneath the surface, the golden mole avoids the scorching heat of the day and the freezing cold of the night, occupying a unique ecological niche as both predator and engineer of the sand. Its predation helps regulate insect populations, maintaining the delicate balance of the desert ecosystem. The golden mole's mastery of its hidden world makes it one of the most specialized and effective hunters in the desert, a true shark of the dunes, silent, unseen, and supremely adapted to life beneath the sands. In the great deserts of the world, water is the currency of survival, shaping every life and every struggle. During the relentless dry season, waterholes shrink to muddy puddles, forcing animals to traverse vast, perilous distances in search of the few remaining sources. For herds of wild horses in the Nevada desert and bighorn sheep in the American Southwest, these last pools become arenas of intense competition and survival. A stallion's or ram's ability to control access to water is the foundation of his dominance, dictating the fate of his group. By defending water, he ensures the survival of his family and secures the right to mate, passing on his genes to the next generation. The stakes are immense, and males are willing to risk everything in fierce battles to maintain or seize control of these precious resources. The arrival of a challenger, be it a rival stallion, ram, or even a predator, signals a declaration of war, and the tension is palpable. One such challenger, a powerful male who has led his parched herd for kilometers, confronts the resident defender in a test of strength and endurance. The air crackles with anticipation as rivals size each other up, posturing and snorting, each movement a calculated display of power. When the fight erupts, it is a violent explosion, kicking hooves, biting teeth, and the thunderous clash of horns and bodies. These brutal dances carry the risk of grave injury. Shattered jaws, broken legs, or splintered horns can mean a slow, agonizing death in the unforgiving desert. For the defeated, the consequences are dire. Injury or exclusion from water can spell the end in this harsh world. Across continents, the struggle repeats. In Africa's arid scrublands, Gravy's zebras and Somali ostriches face the same relentless challenge. A dominant Gravy's zebra stallion, weighing half a ton, can survive for days without water, relying on deep reserves and efficient kidneys, while ostriches minimize water loss by panting and seeking shade. The zebra stallion defends his territory for months, waiting for females to pass through, while ostriches conserve energy and moisture by remaining still during the hottest hours. When bachelor males arrive, the dominant stallion must prove his strength, while young ostriches engage in ritualized displays to establish hierarchy. The zebra charges, kicking and biting, while ostriches flare their wings and chase rivals, each determined to secure their place at the life-giving water. For the victors, be they horse, zebra, or ostrich, the reward is survival, dominance, and the chance to pass on their lineage. The new stallion leads his exhausted family to drink, while zebra foals and ostrich chicks gather at the water's edge, their future secured for another day. The grevy's zebra stallion, triumphant, impresses visiting females, while the dominant ostrich performs his courtship dance, both earning the right to mate and continue their bloodlines. Yet, the fight for water is not limited to animals. Desert plants like cacti and acacias deploy deep roots and waxy leaves to capture and conserve every drop, thriving where others perish. In this raw and powerful struggle, only the most ingenious animal or plant can ensure the future of their kind in the harsh, demanding world of the desert. In the heart of the world's most arid deserts, water is a rare and precious resource. Yet, where it does emerge, sometimes in the most unexpected places, it gives rise to isolated, self-contained ecosystems, each with its own unique cast of survivors. In one such oasis, a volcanic spring surges from deep within the earth, its mineral-laden waters emerging at temperatures that would scald most forms of life. The pool it feeds is a dynamic environment with gradients of heat and chemistry that challenge all who enter. In the cooler margins of this spring, a small, resilient population of tilapia has established itself. These fish are remarkable for their ability to tolerate wide fluctuations in temperature and salinity, traits that are essential for survival in such an unpredictable environment. Tilapia constantly monitor their surroundings, moving between warm and cool zones to maintain their body temperature within a narrow, livable range. This delicate balancing act is a daily struggle, as the water's temperature can shift dramatically with the rising and setting sun. But the challenges of heat and chemistry are not the only threats. The oasis is also home to a formidable predator, the crocodile, a master of ambush and patience. As night falls, crocodiles become active hunters, slipping into the water under the cover of darkness. Their keen senses allow them to detect the slightest movement, making the shallow pools perilous for any fish venturing too far from shelter. For a mother tilapia, the nightly presence of crocodiles is a constant threat to her vulnerable offspring. The newly hatched fry, tiny and defenseless, are easy prey in the open water. The fry's only hope lies in their mother's vigilance and the remarkable adaptations she has evolved to protect them. When danger approaches, the mother signals her young, who instinctively rush to her mouth for shelter. This behavior, known as mouth brooding, is a sophisticated form of parental care. As dusk deepens, she gathers her entire brood, drawing them into the safety of her mouth. Here, they are shielded from predators and the fluctuating temperatures of the night. Inside this living refuge, the fry are protected not only from crocodiles but also from sudden changes in water chemistry and temperature. The mother's sacrifice is profound. She cannot feed while her young are sheltered, enduring hunger to ensure their survival. Throughout the long night, she remains vigilant and motionless, her own needs secondary to the safety of her offspring. This extraordinary act of selflessness is a testament to the power of parental care in the harshest of environments. As dawn breaks, the mother releases her fry, allowing them to feed and grow in the relative safety of the morning light. This cycle of protection and release continues until the young are strong enough to fend for themselves. Far beneath the vast expanse of the Kalahari Desert lies a hidden world, one even more isolated and mysterious than the desert oases above. Deep underground, the Dragon's Breath Cave conceals the world's largest known subterranean lake. This immense body of water, untouched by sunlight, is a relic of ancient times. The water here is fossil water, sealed away for millennia, its chemistry shaped by the slow passage of time and the minerals of the surrounding rock. Only recently explored by humans, the cave's true extent remains unknown. Divers have ventured over 100 meters down, yet the bottom has never been reached, and the lake's secrets remain largely hidden. In this world of perpetual darkness and silence, life has taken on extraordinary forms, perfectly adapted to the cave's unique conditions. The golden catfish, one of the world's rarest and most isolated fish, is the undisputed inhabitant of this subterranean lake. Its entire existence is spent in darkness, far removed from the world above. Over countless generations, the golden catfish has lost all pigmentation and eyesight. Its skin is translucent, and its eyes have regressed, leaving it completely blind. Instead, the catfish relies on highly sensitive barbels, whisker-like organs around its mouth, to detect vibrations and chemical cues in the water, allowing it to navigate and locate food in total darkness. These barbels are covered in taste buds and touch receptors, providing the catfish with a detailed map of its surroundings and the ability to find even the smallest morsel of food. Food is scarce in this isolated lake. The catfish's diet consists of organic debris, dead insects, plant fragments, and the occasional invertebrate that drifts down from the cave ceiling or is washed in during rare floods. Every scrap of organic matter is precious, and the catfish's slow metabolism allows it to survive on the meager resources available, sometimes going weeks between meals. The golden catfish is a living relic, a survivor of a world long vanished, perfectly adapted to its ancient hidden home beneath the desert sands. Its existence is a testament to the power of evolution and the resilience of life in even the most extreme and isolated environments. The ostrich, towering above the desert floor, reigns as the undisputed king of desert birds. With its long, powerful legs and keen eyesight, it is perfectly engineered for survival in the unforgiving Kalahari. Every aspect of its biology is a testament to adaptation, from its sparse, heat-reflecting feathers to its remarkable ability to regulate body temperature in the searing sun. Adult ostriches are masters of water conservation. Their digestive systems extract every possible drop of moisture from the tough, fibrous plants and succulent melons they consume. Specialized kidneys and intestines allow them to survive for weeks, sometimes months, without drinking liquid water, relying solely on the hidden moisture within their food. In the relentless droughts of the desert, adult ostriches may pass by empty waterholes without hesitation, their bodies conserving every precious molecule of water. But for their newly hatched chicks, this remarkable adaptation is still out of reach. The fragile young, covered in soft down, are acutely vulnerable to the desert's merciless heat and aridity. In their first days of life, the chicks' small bodies lose water rapidly. They must find and drink water frequently or risk succumbing to dehydration under the blazing sun. Driven by instinct and necessity, the ostrich parents lead their vulnerable brood on a perilous trek across the desert, searching for the life-sustaining water that will ensure their chicks' survival. Their journey takes them across the Etosha salt pan, a vast, shimmering wasteland where the ground is blindingly white and the air ripples with heat. Here, under the relentless midday sun, ground temperatures soar above 40 degrees Celsius. The heat radiates from every surface, threatening to overwhelm even the hardiest of creatures. The salt pan offers no shelter, no respite, only a blinding, featureless expanse that tests the limits of endurance. The chicks, with their short legs and delicate bodies, struggle to match their parents' pace. Each step drains their strength, and the risk of heat stroke or collapse grows with every passing minute. The father ostrich becomes a living shield, carefully positioning himself to cast his broad shadow over the chicks. This moving oasis of shade is a lifeline, reducing the chicks' exposure to the deadly rays and buying them precious time. Guided by memory and instinct, the parents lead their family toward a destination known only to them, a hidden sanctuary in the barren wilderness. Deep beneath the desert, ancient rainwater has traveled for years through layers of rock, finally surfacing at a secret spring, a rare and precious oasis in the arid expanse. This hidden spring is the family's only hope, a lifeline for the vulnerable chicks and a testament to the parents' knowledge of their harsh home. The final stretch is a desperate race against time and dehydration as the chicks' reserves dwindle and the promise of water draws near. Some chicks falter, their energy nearly spent. The harsh environment claims the weakest, but the family's determination drives them onward. The parents call out, their deep voices urging the chicks to keep moving. Every sound is encouragement, every step a fight for survival. Against all odds, the family presses on. The chicks' endurance and the parents' unwavering guidance are the only reasons any survive this brutal ordeal. At last, after a journey that seems endless, the ostrich family reaches the waterhole. Relief washes over them as the promise of life is fulfilled. The exhausted chicks rush forward, plunging their beaks into the cool water. Each sip restores their strength, their bodies rehydrating after the ordeal. They drink deeply, savoring the life-giving water, their survival secured for another day in the desert. The family rests, huddled together in the aftermath of their ordeal. The chicks, now rehydrated and safe, have passed their first great test of life. This extraordinary journey, led by vigilant and devoted parents, is a powerful example of the extreme measures desert wildlife must take to survive. Every step is a battle against the elements, every success a triumph of adaptation and instinct. For the ostrich family, this life-affirming pilgrimage is more than a quest for water. It is the very foundation of their survival and the continuation of their lineage in the harsh, beautiful world of the African desert. In the Namib, the world's oldest desert, even the largest land animals must fight for their right to survive and lead. Here, the relentless sun and scarce water shape every aspect of life, demanding both strength and wisdom from its inhabitants. Desert-adapted elephants are a rare and magnificent sight, their survival hinging on an intimate knowledge of the land's secrets. They memorize the locations of ancient, often invisible water sources and can sense moisture deep beneath the parched earth, skills passed down through generations. Within the herd, dominance is not inherited but fiercely contested. Elephant bulls communicate their intentions through a complex language of postures, vocalizations, and even seismic signals transmitted through the ground. The lead bull's position is coveted, granting him first access to precious resources and the right to mate. His leadership is recognized by the herd, who rely on his experience to navigate the harsh terrain and avoid danger. Yet this reign is never secure. Younger, ambitious bulls, driven by surging hormones and the promise of dominance, constantly test the resolve of the reigning leader, seeking any sign of weakness. A challenge is a moment of high drama, where every movement is scrutinized and every advantage is sought. The challenger, in the prime of his life, is emboldened by his physical prowess. He approaches with deliberate steps, signaling his intent to the entire herd. The two giants stand face to face, the oppressive heat amplifying the tension. Every member of the herd watches, knowing the outcome will shape their future. For the old bull, defeat would mean more than a loss of status. It would mean isolation, forced to leave the safety of the herd and face the desert's dangers alone. Exile in the Namib is perilous. A solitary elephant must contend with predators, dwindling water, and the relentless sun, relying solely on his own experience to survive. The battle erupts in a thunderous clash of tusks. Each bull channels his full weight and power, the impact echoing across the silent desert. They push and strain, each testing the other's resolve in a contest that is as much about endurance as brute force. The ground trembles beneath their struggle. The fight drags on, both bulls growing weary under the punishing sun. Their bodies bear the marks of previous battles, scars that tell stories of survival. In a surge of youthful energy, the challenger knocks the old bull to his knees. For a moment, the outcome seems certain. The old king lies vulnerable, the herd holding its breath as the balance of power teeters on the edge. But victory in the desert is not won by strength alone. Experience, cunning, and resilience are equally vital. The old bull's body is a map of past conflicts. Each scar is a lesson learned, each wound a testament to his survival. Drawing on deep reserves of determination, he forces himself upright, refusing to yield to the pain or the odds. He knows that this battle is not just for dominance, but for his very survival and the legacy he will leave behind. He cannot afford to lose. Every instinct urges him to fight on, to protect his place in the herd and the knowledge he carries. The titans collide again, their bodies straining, the air thick with dust and the scent of sweat. The herd shifts nervously, sensing the gravity of the moment. Suddenly, the old bull spots a fleeting opening. Years of battle have honed his reflexes to a razor's edge. With practiced precision, he dodges the younger bull's charge and delivers a punishing blow to his rival's vulnerable flank. The pain and shock sap the challenger's resolve. The will to fight drains away, replaced by the instinct to retreat. The younger bull concedes, lowering his head in defeat and withdrawing from the contest. The old bull's triumphant call reverberates across the plains, a signal of victory and continued leadership. The herd rallies around him, reassured by his strength and wisdom. He resumes his place at the head of the herd, guiding them toward the promise of water and safety. His hard-won experience, more than mere physical power, secures the future of his kin. In the unforgiving Namib, such epic struggles are essential. They ensure that only the most capable lead, passing on vital knowledge and survival strategies that allow the herd to endure the desert's extremes, generation after generation. On a remote volcanic island, where the land is forged by fire and battered by relentless waves, life for a newborn is a test of endurance from the very first moment. Here, marine iguana hatchlings, barely the length of a human hand, struggle free from their sandy nests. Their skin, dark and rough, is perfectly adapted to absorb the sun's warmth, but it also makes them stand out against the pale sand, exposing them to danger. The greatest threat comes from Galapagos racer snakes, sleek, agile predators with lightning-fast reflexes. Their slender bodies allow them to move swiftly across the sand, and their acute sense of smell helps them track the scent of newly hatched iguanas. As soon as a hatchling breaks the surface, its powerful hind legs propel it forward in a frantic dash toward the jagged rocks where adult iguanas bask in safety. Every muscle is primed for explosive speed, a vital adaptation for this perilous journey. The snakes, perfectly camouflaged among the debris, erupt from their hiding places the instant they detect movement. Their attack is coordinated and swift, relying on both stealth and speed. For the vulnerable hatchling, the world is suddenly alive with danger. Surrounded by predators, its survival depends on a combination of acute vision, rapid reflexes, and the ability to remain absolutely still when necessary. On the open sand, the iguana's long, muscular legs give it a crucial edge. It can reach speeds that momentarily outpace the pursuing snakes, its tail acting as a counterbalance for sharp turns and sudden leaps. The predators, aware of their disadvantage in a straight chase, rely on ambush tactics. They position themselves along the hatchling's most likely escape routes, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Racer snakes have poor eyesight, but their sensitivity to movement and vibration is extraordinary. They can detect the faintest tremor, making any sudden motion a potential death sentence for the hatchling. Yet, the iguana's only hope lies in its ability to freeze. By remaining perfectly motionless, it can blend into the sandy background, its dark scales mimicking the volcanic debris. This remarkable camouflage, combined with absolute stillness, renders the hatchling nearly invisible to its predators, buying it precious seconds to plan its next move. One hatchling, heart-pounding, remains frozen as a snake glides past, its tongue flicking in search of movement. The iguana's survival depends on resisting the urge to flee. The snake, unable to detect the motionless lizard, glides past, missing a meal that was just within reach. The hatchling's discipline and camouflage have saved its life, this time, but the ordeal is far from over. The beach is alive with predators, and every shadow could spell disaster. Remaining still is only a temporary reprieve. The hatchling must eventually risk everything and make a break for the rocks. Timing is everything. The hatchling waits for the briefest lull, then explodes into motion, sprinting for its life. The instant it moves, the snakes react, their bodies coil and spring, launching a coordinated pursuit. Now not one, but a whole group of snakes gives chase, their bodies weaving and twisting in a relentless pursuit. The scene becomes a blur of motion, predator and prey locked in a desperate race, every second a matter of life and death. The hatchling's physiology is pushed to its limits, its lungs gulping air, heart racing, muscles burning with exertion as it sprints for the safety of the rocks. The snakes are relentless, converging from all directions, using teamwork and terrain to cut off escape routes. It is a terrifying ordeal, a crucible that will determine whether the young iguana survives its first day. With astonishing agility, the hatchling dodges and weaves, using its flexible spine and powerful limbs to evade the snapping jaws of its pursuers. At last, the hatchling reaches the base of the cliffs. Its claws find purchase on the rough volcanic rock, and it squeezes through a narrow gap, just beyond the reach of the snakes. Safe at last, the young iguana joins the adults on the sun-baked rocks, its ordeal over for now. It has survived one of the most perilous beginnings in the animal world, thanks to its unique physiology, keen instincts, and sheer determination. This extraordinary escape is a vivid testament to the daily struggle for survival in the wild, where every heartbeat, every breath, and every instinct can mean the difference between life and death. For the marine iguana, the journey has only just begun. In the heart of the desert, the sand dunes are never still. Wind sculpts them into ever-changing peaks and valleys, a landscape in constant motion and extreme heat. Here, survival demands not just endurance, but ingenuity. The fringe-toed lizard has mastered this world of shifting sands. Perfectly adapted to its harsh environment, it thrives where few others dare to venture. Its skin is covered in specialized reflective scales that scatter the sun's punishing rays, reducing heat absorption and helping the lizard maintain a safe body temperature even as the sand surface soars above 60 degrees Celsius. As a predator, the fringe-toed lizard is both patient and precise. Its primary prey is the brine fly, a tiny insect that flourishes in the salty margins of desert water sources. Brine flies are themselves marvels of adaptation, able to survive in saline conditions that would be lethal to most insects. They gather in dense swarms, forming a living carpet along the water's edge. For the lizard, these swarms are both a banquet and a challenge. The abundance of flies offers a rich food source, but catching enough to survive requires relentless effort. Yet, there is a hidden cost to this feast. Brine flies are composed mostly of salt, and the lizard must consume hundreds to extract even a small amount of fresh water. To obtain the equivalent of a single teaspoon of water, the lizard must devour nearly 400 flies, a testament to its persistence and efficiency as a hunter. This relentless hunting is a daily ritual, demanding speed, accuracy, and unwavering focus. The richest patches of shoreline, thick with flies, are fiercely contested. For the lizard, holding such territory can mean the difference between life and death. The fringe-toed lizard defends its chosen patch with vigor, using displays of aggression to warn off rivals and secure its vital food supply. When another lizard intrudes, a ritualized contest begins. Push-ups, head bobs, and circling. Each movement a signal in a silent battle for dominance. But the fringe-toed lizard's talents extend far beyond territorial defense. Its most remarkable adaptation lies in its feet. Each toe is fringed with elongated scales, acting like miniature snowshoes. These allow the lizard to dash across loose, shifting sand at high speed, barely sinking, a vital advantage in this treacherous terrain. This speed is not just for hunting. It is a lifeline, enabling the lizard to evade predators such as hawks and kestrels that patrol the skies above. When danger draws near, the lizard's final defense is as dramatic as it is effective. With a sudden dive, it plunges headfirst into the sand, wriggling rapidly to vanish beneath the surface. In seconds it is gone, hidden from view, insulated from heat and safe from predators. These extraordinary adaptations, heat-reflecting skin, a specialized diet, territorial displays, snowshoe-like toes, and the ability to disappear into the sand make the fringe-toed lizard a true marvel of desert evolution. In this unforgiving landscape, every creature from the smallest ant to the largest elephant plays a vital role in the desert's intricate web of life. The desert is not a barren wasteland, but a living stage where ingenious strategies and remarkable resilience are on display every day. Life, in all its creativity, has conquered even this land of extremes, filling it with creatures whose stories are as dramatic as the landscape itself. The clever fringe-toed lizard stands as a testament to the power of adaptation and the enduring spirit of desert wildlife. As the scorching sun finally slips beneath the horizon, the desert transforms, temperatures plunge, and a new cast of survivors emerges to claim the night. Among the most enigmatic is the desert scorpion, a master of darkness and a creature perfectly sculpted for survival in this hostile realm. Invisible to the naked eye, the scorpion's pale exoskeleton glows a ghostly blue under moonlight, a phenomenon known as fluorescence. Scientists have yet to unravel the full purpose of this otherworldly glow, but in the deep shadows of the dunes it marks the scorpion as a true phantom of the night. With 6 legs and 2 menacing pincers, the desert scorpion glides silently across the sand, barely leaving a trace. Its movements are slow and deliberate, conserving precious energy in a world where every calorie counts. Yet, beneath its calm exterior lies a formidable hunter, equipped with extraordinary adaptations. The scorpion's most vital sense is touch. Thousands of tiny hairs on its legs detect the faintest vibrations. Footsteps of prey, the rustle of a beetle, or the distant scurry of another scorpion. Even the subtlest tremor in the sand is enough to reveal a meal nearby, its pincers open, poised and ready. But it is the scorpion's tail that holds its deadliest weapon, a venomous stinger, arched and primed for the strike. When prey, often a cricket or small insect, ventures too close, the scorpion strikes with lightning speed, injecting a precise dose of venom that paralyzes in an instant. The desert's silence is broken only by the faint rustle as the scorpion feeds. Survival in the desert demands more than just hunting prowess. Water is as precious as gold. The scorpion's tough exoskeleton is nearly impermeable, locking in moisture and shielding it from the desiccating night air. By day, it retreats into cool burrows beneath the sand, emerging only when darkness offers safety from predators and relief from the relentless heat. Even in the safety of night, danger is never far. Owls and foxes patrol the dunes, their senses tuned to the slightest movement. When threatened, the scorpion relies on both stealth and armor. Flattening itself against the sand, it becomes nearly invisible, blending perfectly with the moonlit landscape. Through millions of years, the desert scorpion has honed its nocturnal existence, an expert in patience, precision, and endurance. It is a creature defined by its ability to thrive where others falter, a silent sentinel, in the vast, echoing dark. In the endless cycle of day and night, the scorpion's secret world endures, a testament to the quiet brilliance of nature's design. As the first light of dawn sweeps across the dunes, another elusive figure emerges from the shadows, the desert fox, or fennec. This small canid is an icon of adaptation, perfectly engineered to survive the furnace of the desert. With oversized ears and a delicate frame, the desert fox is both a marvel of evolution and a master of survival strategy. The fox's day begins before the sun becomes unforgiving. It moves with swift, calculated steps, nose low to the ground, scanning for the faintest scent of prey or water. Its massive ears, which can reach up to 6 inches in length, are not just an endearing feature. They serve as sophisticated thermal radiators. Blood vessels within these ears release excess heat, helping the fox regulate its body temperature as daytime temperatures soar. To avoid the deadly midday sun, the desert fox is a creature of habit and precision. As the heat intensifies, it retreats to its elaborate network of burrows, cool, shaded sanctuaries dug deep beneath the sand. Here, temperatures can be dramatically lower than on the surface, providing crucial relief from the relentless sun. These dens are not just shelters, they are intricate labyrinths designed to trap cool air and offer escape routes from predators. As dusk settles, the fox re-emerges. Its fur, pale and thick, reflects sunlight and insulates against both heat and the chill of desert nights. The pads of its feet are covered in dense fur, protecting against scorching sand and providing silent movement as it stalks its quarry. The fox's diet is as varied as the desert is harsh. Rodents, insects, birds, and even fruits. Each meal is a small victory, a testament to the fox's opportunistic nature. But survival in the desert is not a solitary endeavor. The fox's keen senses detect the presence of other nocturnal hunters. It must navigate a delicate balance, competing for food with owls, evading the sharp talons of raptors, and steering clear of venomous threats like snakes and scorpions. When danger approaches, the fox relies on agility and camouflage, melting into the pale sands or darting for the safety of its burrow. Water, the rarest resource of all, is seldom found in liquid form. Instead, the desert fox extracts moisture from its prey and conserves every drop through highly efficient kidneys, producing concentrated urine and dry feces. Every adaptation, every behavior is a response to the desert's brutal demands. The desert fox is more than a survivor. It is an artist of adaptation, painting its existence on a canvas of endless sand. In the ever-turning cycle of day and night, heat and cold, scarcity and abundance, the fox's strategies are a silent ode to the ingenuity of life in the world's harshest places. Beneath the shifting sands, where the heat of the day lingers long after sunset, another master of survival lies in wait, the desert-horned viper. With scales the color of sun-bleached stone and a pair of horn-like projections above its eyes, this snake is the embodiment of stealth and precision. The horned viper's existence is defined by patience. During the hottest hours, it buries itself just beneath the surface, leaving only its eyes and horns exposed. This shallow ambush allows the viper to remain cool and invisible, perfectly camouflaged against the undulating patterns of the desert floor. As dusk deepens, the viper stirs, senses attuned to the faintest vibrations of approaching prey. Its hunting method is a study in efficiency. With a sudden, lightning-fast strike, the viper injects potent venom through hinged fangs, immobilizing lizards, rodents, or small birds in an instant. Unlike many other snakes, the horned viper often waits for its prey to succumb before swallowing it whole, minimizing risk and conserving precious energy. But the viper's talents extend beyond stealth and venom. Its movement is a marvel in itself, sidewinding. This unique locomotion allows the snake to glide across scorching sand, minimizing contact and leaving a distinctive looping trail in its wake. Not only does this help the viper travel efficiently, but it also makes tracking by predators and prey alike a difficult task. Despite its fearsome reputation, the horned viper plays a crucial role in the delicate balance of the desert ecosystem. By keeping populations of small mammals and reptiles in check, it helps maintain the fragile web of life that stretches across these arid lands. In turn, the viper is preyed upon by larger birds and mammals, a reminder that even the most formidable hunter is not immune to the cycle of survival. As the cool of night settles in, the horned viper resumes its silent vigil, blending once more into the endless expanse of sand. Its story is one of adaptation, patience, and the quiet artistry of the desert's most enigmatic predator. In the relentless aridity of the desert, where each drop of water is more precious than gold, survival demands ingenuity. Enter the desert beetle, an unassuming architect of adaptation whose existence hinges on mastering the art of harvesting water from thin air. As dawn breaks and the cool night air gives way to a rising sun, the beetle emerges from its burrow. Its matte black armored body glistens faintly in the low light, perfectly designed to absorb minimal heat and avoid unnecessary water loss. But it's the beetle's back that holds the secret to its survival. Covered in a patchwork of microscopic bumps and channels, this intricate landscape is a living water trap. With practiced precision, the beetle climbs to the crest of a dune, facing into the moist morning breeze. Here it performs a ritual as old as the desert itself, raising its body and angling its back to catch the faint fog that rolls in from distant coasts. As tiny droplets condense on the hydrophilic peaks of its shell, gravity guides the water along waxy, hydrophobic troughs, funneling the precious liquid directly to the beetle's mouthparts. This remarkable adaptation allows the beetle to harvest water where none seems to exist, turning the desert's fleeting mists into a life-sustaining resource. And in doing so, it becomes a keystone species, its survival supporting a delicate chain of predators and scavengers, from lizards and birds to the patient foxes that roam the dunes. The desert beetle's ingenuity doesn't end with water collection. Its burrowing habits aerate the soil, and its diet of decaying plant matter accelerates nutrient cycling, subtly shaping the ecosystem with every movement. As the sun climbs higher and the fog dissipates, the beetle retreats beneath the sand, conserving moisture until the next opportunity arises. In a landscape defined by scarcity, the desert beetle is a testament to evolution's quiet genius, a master alchemist, conjuring life from the very breath of the desert itself. In the heart of the desert, where water is a fleeting mirage, survival often depends on the extraordinary. Among the most remarkable residents is the Sandgrouse, a bird whose very existence is intertwined with the quest for water. Unlike most desert dwellers, the Sandgrouse does not rely solely on dew or fog. Instead, it undertakes epic daily journeys to distant, often hidden, waterholes, sometimes flying over 40 kilometers each way across the shimmering sands. But it is not only the distance that sets the Sandgrouse apart. It is what happens at the waterhole that reveals its true genius. Males, in particular, have evolved a unique adaptation, specialized belly feathers, dense and coiled like tiny sponges, perfectly engineered for soaking up water. Upon arrival, the Sandgrouse wades into the shallows. With rhythmic, deliberate movements, he dips his belly, allowing the feathers to absorb and trap the precious liquid, up to 20 milliliters at a time. With his load secured, the Sandgrouse takes to the sky once more, the weight of water clinging to his plumage. The journey home is urgent and purposeful, for waiting in the nest are his downy chicks, too young, too vulnerable to make the perilous trek themselves. Upon his return, the chicks rush to their father's side, eagerly drawing water from his saturated feathers, drinking directly from the living canteen he has become. Every detail of this adaptation is finely tuned to the desert's demands. The Sandgrouse's streamlined body conserves energy during long flights, while its cryptic coloring blends seamlessly with the dunes, offering protection from predators. Even the timing of its journeys, often at dawn or dusk, ensures minimal water loss in the cool air. This remarkable system is a lifeline, not just for the Sandgrouse family, but for the desert itself. For wherever water is carried, life follows. In a world where every drop counts, the Sandgrouse stands as a living testament to resilience and the intricate wonders of adaptation, soaring above the sands with a cargo more precious than gold. Beneath the relentless sun, where the land seems barren and unyielding, a silent architect shapes a hidden world. Meet the desert tortoise, a master of patience, resilience, and subterranean engineering. Unlike the fleeting shadows of birds or the swift dash of lizards, the tortoise's existence unfolds in slow, measured rhythms, dictated by the extremes of its arid home. From the moment a hatchling emerges, no larger than a walnut, it faces a gauntlet of challenges. Vulnerable to predators and the searing heat, its first instinct is to seek shelter. Guided by ancient instincts, the young tortoise begins to dig, using sturdy forelimbs and claws to carve out a shallow scrape beneath a bush or rock. With each passing year, these excavations deepen and expand, becoming a network of burrows, some stretching over 10 meters in length. These underground sanctuaries are more than mere hideaways. Within their cool, humid chambers, desert tortoises escape the brutal midday heat and the chill of winter nights. Here, in the muted half-light, their bodies slow, conserving precious moisture and energy. During the hottest months, a tortoise may spend up to 95% of its time below ground, entering a state of estivation, a kind of summer hibernation that shields it from dehydration and starvation. The life cycle of the desert tortoise is a testament to endurance. Mating occurs in spring, often accompanied by patient courtship rituals and gentle nudges. Females lay clutches of leathery eggs in carefully chosen burrow entrances, where the soil's warmth will incubate them for months. Survival rates are low. Only a fraction of hatchlings will ever reach adulthood. But those that do can live for over 50 years, their shells etched with the story of every season survived. Above ground, the tortoise is a cautious forager. Its diet is a mosaic of tough grasses, wildflowers, and succulent cacti, each bite providing vital moisture and nutrients. Water is a rare treasure, often gleaned from the morning dew or the aftermath of a rare desert rain. When the sky finally opens, tortoises emerge en masse, drinking deeply and storing water in their bladders, a living reservoir for the dry weeks ahead. Every burrow, every slow footstep, is a strategy honed by evolution. The desert tortoise may seem unassuming, but beneath its domed shell lies the wisdom of survival, a creature that endures not by outrunning the desert, but by becoming one with its rhythms. In the tapestry of desert life, the tortoise is both guardian and survivor, its underground fortresses a testament to the power of adaptation. In the heart of the desert, life is not a solitary struggle, but a complex dance of interaction, where plants and animals shape one another's fate in an ever-shifting web. Here, every adaptation is a story of give and take, of fierce competition and unexpected alliances, woven into the very fabric of survival. As dawn breaks, a camera glides over a spiny cluster of cholla cactus. Perched delicately among the needles, a cactus wren pecks at insects drawn by the plant's moisture-rich stems. The wren's sharp beak helps keep the cactus free of pests, a subtle partnership where both plant and bird benefit. In return, the cactus offers shelter. Its tangled branches protect the wren's nest from predators and the punishing midday sun. Nearby, the desert's most iconic succulent, the saguaro, towers silently. Its waxy skin and ribbed structure are marvels of water conservation, but its flowers tell a different story. As night falls, a lesser long-nosed bat hovers, lapping at the saguaro's nectar. Pollen dusts its fur, and with every visit to another blossom, the bat becomes an unwitting messenger, ensuring the next generation of saguaros will rise. Yet, not all interactions are harmonious. At the base of a creosote bush, a desert kangaroo rat emerges, its fur blending with the sand. The rat scours the ground for seeds, competing fiercely with ants and birds for each precious morsel. Some seeds, however, are encased in tough shells. Only the gnawing teeth of the kangaroo rat can crack them, dispersing the plant's offspring far from the parent bush. In this quiet contest, survival is measured in seconds and centimeters. Mutualism and competition intertwine in the shade of the mesquite tree. Its deep roots tap hidden water, drawing sustenance where others cannot. Beneath its canopy, a mosaic of life flourishes. Lizards bask in filtered sunlight, insects pollinate tiny blossoms, and jackrabbits nibble on tender shoots. The mesquite's fallen leaves enrich the soil, nurturing a miniature oasis in the desert's vast expanse. Even the seemingly inhospitable saltbush harbors secrets of adaptation. Its leaves excrete salt, creating a shimmering crust that deters grazers. But a select few, like the desert iguana, have evolved to tolerate this bitter fare, feasting on the leaves that others shun. In this realm of extremes, every relationship is a balance, a negotiation between scarcity and abundance, risk and reward. From the silent partnership of cactus and bird to the nightly ballet of bats and blooms, the desert's web of life is held together by invisible threads of interdependence. Here, survival is not just about enduring the elements, but about forging connections, each species a vital note in the desert's enduring symphony. Beneath the glaring sun and shifting sands, an invisible force drives the desert's pulse, its smallest inhabitants, insects. Though often overlooked, these tiny architects are the backbone of pollination and the web of life, their daily endeavors shaping the fate of plants and animals alike. A camera glides low across a patch of flowering brittlebush, where the air vibrates with the hum of desert bees. Unlike their temperate cousins, these bees are solitary artisans. Each female carves a burrow in the sandy soil, provisioning it with pollen and nectar collected from the brittle's golden blooms. Their journeys ensure the brittlebush will bloom again next spring, painting the desert in yellow after the rare rains. Nearby, a metallic green sweat bee shimmers in the morning light, its slender body dusted with pollen from a prickly pear cactus flower. It darts from blossom to blossom, a living bridge for genetic exchange. Unlike honeybees, these specialists are active only during the brief windows when desert flowers open, making every moment and every grain of pollen count. As midday heat intensifies, the scene shifts to a yucca plant, its ivory flowers swaying in the oven-hot breeze. Here the yucca moth enacts a singular ritual. With delicate precision, the moth gathers pollen into a tiny ball, then deliberately transfers it to another flower's stigma, laying her eggs in the process. The developing larvae will feed on some seeds, but enough remain to ensure the yucca's survival, a delicate pact between plant and pollinator, forged over millennia. Beyond pollination, insects thread the desert's food web together. A harvester ant emerges from its subterranean fortress, dragging a seed twice its size. These industrious foragers shape plant communities, dispersing seeds and aerating the soil as they build their labyrinthine nests. Overhead, a velvet ant, actually a wingless wasp, prowls the sand, her vivid red and black warning colors a deterrent to predators. She is both hunter and hunted, a vital link in the desert's chain of life. At dusk, a cloud of winged termites rises in shimmering columns, their brief flight a signal feast for geckos and nightjars waiting in the shadows. Even after death, the desert's beetles and ants recycle life's remains, transforming decay into nourishment for the next cycle. In the vast, silent desert, insects are the quiet power behind every bloom and every feast. Their ingenuity and resilience knit together the fragile tapestry of life, ensuring that even in this harshest of worlds the web endures, one tiny miracle at a time. Beneath the parched crust of the desert, life stirs in secret. Here, in a realm where water is a fleeting treasure, desert amphibians have mastered the art of survival through adaptation and patience. As the camera sinks below the cracked surface, it reveals the spade-foot toad, an unassuming creature cloaked in earth-toned camouflage. For most of the year, these amphibians slumber in self-made burrows, sealed away from the relentless heat and desiccation. Their bodies slow to a near standstill, heartbeats barely audible as they enter a state of estivation, an extended dormancy that can last months, even years, until the rains finally come. When thunder rumbles and rare monsoon clouds burst, the desert transforms overnight. Spadefoot toads awaken, drawn to ephemeral pools that form in low-lying basins. In this narrow window of abundance, the race for life begins. Males gather at the water's edge, their calls resonating through the night, summoning mates with deep, resonant croaks. Females lay hundreds of eggs, trusting the fickle waters to cradle the next generation. The camera zooms in on gelatinous strings of eggs, suspended in the silty shallows. Within days, tadpoles wriggle free, tiny translucent forms propelled by urgent purpose. They must grow fast, devouring algae and detritus, for their pool may vanish with the sun. Some species, like the couch's spadefoot, boast a remarkable adaptation. Their tadpoles can metamorphose into toadlets in as little as 9 days, compressing an entire childhood into a single, frantic week. Yet not all amphibians rely on pools. The desert rain frog, found in coastal dunes, absorbs moisture directly from fog and dew, drawing sustenance from the air itself. Its permeable skin is both a blessing and a curse, enabling hydration, yet demanding constant vigilance against evaporation. As the last puddles recede, juvenile toads and frogs burrow back underground, their bodies accumulating fat reserves to endure the coming drought. Some secrete a protective cocoon of shed skin, locking in precious moisture as the desert returns to silence. Though seldom seen, these amphibians are vital cogs in the desert's machinery, controlling insect populations, enriching the soil, and serving as prey for snakes and birds. Their hidden cycles echo the desert's rhythm, patient, resilient, and ever adaptable. In the harshest times, their silent endurance ensures that when the rains return, life will rise again from the dust. Across the world's great deserts, a new force is reshaping ancient rhythms: climate change. The camera sweeps over a familiar landscape, but subtle differences betray a world in flux. Temperatures climb higher than memory recalls, and the rain, already rare, arrives at unpredictable times. Or sometimes not at all. The lens finds a herd of oryx, their flanks gaunt, moving further and faster in search of shrinking waterholes. Once reliable oases dwindle, their margins cracked and white with salt. Overhead, satellite imagery reveals a patchwork of shrinking green and expanding barrenness. For the fennec fox, the night grows warmer, pushing their hunting hours deeper into darkness. They adapt, shifting their diet to include drought-hardy insects and scavenging more often from the remains left by other predators. Yet not all can adjust so quickly. The camera lingers on the carcass of a young gazelle, lost to heat-stroke beneath a relentless sun. In the sand, the Namib beetle faces a new challenge. The fog that once rolled in each dawn thins, leaving less moisture to harvest. Ingeniously, some beetle populations begin to shift their burrow entrances and change the angle of their shell ridges, maximizing what little condensation remains. The camera captures delicate droplets forming along modified carapaces, an evolutionary arms race in real time. At the edge of a vanished pool, spadefoot toads dig deeper, seeking cooler, damper soil, but the rains that once triggered their emergence now arrive too late or too briefly. In response, some toads lay fewer eggs, investing more in each offspring, while others develop longer estivation cycles, waiting out failed seasons. Desert plants, too, are forced to innovate. Time-lapse footage reveals seeds lying dormant for years, awakening only when conditions are just right. Some shrubs extend their roots deeper than ever before, while others shift their flowering times to catch the rare early rains. Predators and prey alike are pushed into uneasy proximity. The camera follows a sandcat, now venturing into human-altered edges where rodents cluster around leaking pipes and scraps. Competition intensifies, and the web of life tightens. Yet amid uncertainty, resilience endures. Genetic diversity increases among survivors and new behaviors emerge. A gerbil caching seeds in shaded stone crevices, a lizard basking less and burrowing more. The desert's ancient code is being rewritten, one challenge at a time. As the sun sets, painting the dunes in crimson and gold, the camera pulls back. The desert pulses with quiet determination. Under threat, its inhabitants adapt, innovate and persist, testament to the relentless will to survive, even as the sands themselves shift beneath their feet.